Hi, my name is Douglas Spencer, and thank you for your interest in learning about our approach to messaging and branding. We believe that there are three key elements to any strong message. The first is differentiation. Now, most organizations understand that, but there's also authenticity and emotion. These are critically important for a couple of reasons. First of all, authenticity. We are all on the lookout for insincerity. We're on the lookout for organizations that are just not living up to what they say. And then there's emotion. Most all of the decisions we make as humans come from a place of emotion. We just happen to justify them with analytics such as cost of ownership or return on investment. Otherwise everyone would be driving a Prius. Well, we have an approach to really tap into the authenticity, differentiation, and emotion that are needed to create a strong message. The first is the why. Why do you do what you do? This really speaks to your organization's soul. Why do you care about what you do? And really, why should anybody else? The second is the what and how. This brings about differentiation. What is it you do? And how do you do it better and differently than all the other options people have? And finally, there's the way, how your message comes to life. This includes the unspoken messages, the emotional triggers that align with your words and really give them impact. We have a very simple process called Ask, Build, and Connect. The Ask phase includes, in some situations, a worksheet, but more often than not, it's one-on-one interviews with principals, the quantitative surveys to the folks you have in your universe, reviews of any existing research you have, and then we'll do a messaging audit. We'll look at what you're saying, as well as what 5 comparable organizations are saying, to figure out where we can find some differences. The next is the build phase, and this is where we bring all those things to life. We create your why statement. We create your what and how statements. And we find those personality traits, those emotions that really drive home your message and build that that emotion that we're looking for. And then finally is the connect phase, and this is just connecting the messaging framework with all of the places in your real world, in your day-to-day that need it. Those can include a simple one-sentence description, an elevator pitch, maybe a new website or social media copy, and oftentimes we will help organizations either update their logo or their visual identities. Now, the process is really impactful. In fact, one of our former clients said that this process helped get her vision out of her head and into her strategy and operations. Another client has said that working with us has invigorated them. Their approach to the work comes with a new level of excitement. They know they're going in the right decision, and they know how to articulate their work differently. And then also someone said that we helped them find a structure and a cadence for a message that they just could not have found on their own. And that was from Mike Lake, the Executive Director of Leading Cities. Well, let's take a closer look at what we did for Leading Cities. So the first is, as I said, the why. Why do they do what they do? And the why statement we came up for with Leading Cities is drive resilience and sustainability for all by unleashing the potential of the world's cities. That's why they get out of bed in the morning. That's why they do what they do, to unleash the potential of the world's cities, all by driving resilience and sustainability. What and how? So what do they do and how do they do it differently? Well, their what statement is leading cities connect cities across the globe with innovations that solve our most pressing challenges. We do that by cultivating a global network of forward thinkers from the public, private, academic, and nonprofit sectors. Their proof points are a program they call Leading Cities Member Network. Their second how is nurturing and supporting the most promising startups and connecting them with the cities ready to benefit from their work. Their proof points are Acela City and Acela Gov. And then finally, they do that. They connect cities across the globe with innovations that solve our most pressing challenges by delivering advanced research, emerging trends, and technologies through consulting services from global experts. That is their leading consulting program. Now put it all together and you get something like leading cities connect cities across the globe with the innovations that solve our most pressing challenges. We do that by cultivating a global network of forward thinkers, nurturing and supporting the most promising startups, and delivering advanced research and emerging trends from global experts. The other superpower that the focus and messaging framework has is focus. That's why we call it the focus and messaging framework. Let me give you an example, also from Leading Cities. Now, what if somebody came to Mike Lake, the executive director, with an idea like, oh, we should do a corporate adopt a city program just like they do for highways? A pretty ridiculous example, but it's an example nonetheless. Well, look at it through this lens. Does this idea further our house of cultivating a global network of forward thinkers? No. Does it nurture and support the most promising startups? Nope. Does it deliver advanced research, emerging trends, and technologies? No, it does not. So that means that this idea is not a great idea for leading cities. And then there's the way. How should their message come to life? Well, there are 4 ways. Measured. Leading cities believes that a methodical approach to innovation brings about the most transformative change. Supportive. We work collaboratively to mitigate the frustrations inherent to driving ambitious change. Hopeful. We see a future in which cities are vibrant centers of sustainability, equity, and inclusion. And bold. Our drive to bring about resilience and prosperity is undaunted. Now, let me give you some examples of how these ways, these emotional attributes come to life. So for another client we worked with, one of their ways was ardent. We work tirelessly to ensure that the children who need us most receive the best possible care. So in order to help them find a tone of voice that is ardent, we recommended finding a balance between no nonsense and a passionate tone in order to demonstrate some serious commitment. So for example, instead of below are potential indicators of child abuse, they include but are not limited to these signs. Some signs that a child is experiencing violence or abuse may be more obvious than others. Trust your instincts. Suspected abuse is enough of a reason to contact authorities. You do not need proof. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that paragraph. But a way to make it sound more ardent, perhaps, is this way. Children are suffering even when they can't tell someone, which is why they need us. Trust your instincts because signs of violence or abuse may not be obvious. Suspected abuse is enough of a reason to contact the authorities. You do not need proof. Potential indicators of child abuse can include, but are not limited to. And the other way the ways come to life is visually. So here's a client we had, and their ways were creative, charismatic, pragmatic, and perceptive. So our art director came up with this color palette to really drive home those emotional drivers, creativity, charisma, etc. The first is using a color like ultraviolet. This is a really bold color that shows creativity and has some charisma to it just because it's a color that people don't use often. But she also decided to use what we call a GT green to offer a professional balance and give off a sense of both pragmatism and perceptiveness. So that's it. Those are our core elements of a brand message: the why you do what you do, the what and how, and the way your message comes to life. And it all comes together through our ask, build, and connect methodology. Hope that helps. Hope that makes sense. And if you have any questions, by all means, let us know. We are happy to answer them. Thanks a lot.